Oh, through decisions. Yeah, that's true. Yes, we can. New Jersey. Let's get some more of those.
Hands. Ready to move. Orders.
Actually, no, you can just join them. And then you can have an actual front here. Going to this. Okay, there we go.
Come on, move out.
Did I have any other field marshals? No, just the one. That's fine. I'm wondering when I want to turn this into a regular front line, like a field marshal front line, which is something I can do. Totalist in the Baratia Commune is the leader of the Baratia Commune's Maximus faction. Its recently elected head of state, Subras Chandra Bose, gave a fiery speech to an electrified crowd in Calcutta today, promising that his new Totalist government would do whatever it took to deal a death blow to the colonial lapdogs of the Northern Dominion of Canada. And actually...
Let's go!
Let's do a quick save here, because I'm probably about to screw my front line. But I'm tired of the gaps appearing between my lines, so I'm going to try... and do a field marshal front line. Which is going to be up to here. Yeah, I thought that was going to screw things. So... everyone stop.
Orders.
You are not part of this front line. The hell?
Keep moving. Yes, sir. Move out.
Alright, we're going to rejig this and we're going to see if I can get this to work.
Orders.
Nope, that just deleted the
Let
whole
them have it.
front line.
Let them have it.
Definitely not something to do in multiplayer. Alright, so that should be just you two in there. No. Come on! Alright, those have been unassigned. Reds are up to here, which is correct. Greens are up to here, which is correct. Are you actually assigned to this purple line? Does this purple line exist? No, of course it doesn't. That'd be far too easy.
Ready, sir.
Okay, I think we got it. Nope, your lines have just moved stupidly again. It's supposed to be up to here, right? That's not doing anything. I hate this system, it is so bad. The whole point of this is you're supposed to be able to move it around. Alright, new plan.
Listen up.
You're not in the Field Marshal's army. How do I
Listen up.
just pull you out? Like that.
Under fire.
Now this frontline system does work and I quite like it. So
Keep
you...
moving.
how do we do it again? Shift right click. So this is just a straight up martial front line, which will automatically assign the units from these two armies to that front line. This system does work, and it's actually fairly decent. So now that's all assigned, and you'll still get the general sub-commander abilities working on it. However, I don't think you can assign these guys separately to it. No, you can't. So I'm going to need a second field marshal for these two. Need somebody who's cheap to promote. Smedley, what? Yeah, you're an attacking guy. So what I really need is somebody who's a defensive commander. Like Wolf, maybe, although I'd much prefer it with someone with no abilities. Like, no general abilities. Do I really want to do this? Is this silly? This is probably silly. Yeah. Field marshals are terrible for frontlines, with the exception of this one where you basically just absorb all of the units under them. Those ones are okay, but the ones where you actually try to have the sub-armies under the field marshal's line, no, they're freaking awful. The thing I'm curious to see is whether these guys are going to try and move. A little bit. Not awfully. The problem with this is if I wanted to attack with just the red units, which was these guys, that's really difficult to do now. Which matters because he's a much better attacking commander.
Ready.
So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. No, I'm not. We can do it now, actually.
All in.
You can be assigned to that. And now we're going to make this front line, this whole front line.
Move out.
And then that just leaves you out, because that's going to be just difficult to deal with otherwise.
Come on,
I'm
move
okay
out.
with this. So you are going to have a full back line there. And you are going to be commanded by the newly gazetted Field Marshal. And I'm probably only going to use this in this war. This is really useful actually for nations like the Soviet Union, where you just have a humongous front line, as we do have here. Where you need multiple armies under them. Your only job is defending. So I think I might just promote someone like a team. Colson's really cheap to promote. You can just promote you.
Go, go, go!
Interwar artillery. It's still 37, so I don't want to upgrade that. I do, however, want to upgrade the infrastructure improvement. And we can now choose to promote Butler, which will give him expert delegator and adaptable, which means he can have more troops under him. Then if we ever connect this, then we can add you to this main front line. But doing that is going to be a challenge. So I'm just going to wait until my lines are built, and then we should be able to do some more work. GPU is dying, can't play games, at least Mordred streaming, so I got that going. Your 2080 Titans kicking the bucket. Oof. Yeah, that's not good. Do I not have anyone set to repair? Oh. Ha. Well, that would explain why these destroyers aren't getting repaired. Actually, speaking of which, are any of you damaged? Only a tiny bit. You'll live. Probably.
Pushing them back, sir.
There are definitely no defensive field marshals I can promote. Most defensive person would be you. Support from the Syndicates. Rebels fighting for the Syndicate cause elsewhere in the United States have made contact with our government, offering an array of scavenged supplies. Very nice. We'll keep it like this.
Let's go!
Directive 984, sentencing of the pre-war capitalist politicians. As the revolution nears success, the people demand that we deal with the corrupt capitalist politicians in office before the revolution, who now rot in our cells. Some believe that by having these politicians work hard labour for a few years, they will empathise with the worker and be converted to our cause. Others believe that no amount of education can reform them, and that they must remain behind bars for the rest of their lives. A small but vocal minority insists that they must be executed for their crimes, like the Romanovs or the Bourbon dynasties of old. Redeemed by the sweat of their brows and the ache of their backs, more radical socialism and base stability. They shall watch as the world leaves them behind and makes them irrelevant. More syndicalism. Our turn, we shall not make excuses for terror. Redeemed.
Pushing them back, sir! Let's go!
And I'm also going to change your orders slightly. I want you. Oh, Norfolk fell again. To attack this.
Orders!
Where are the rest of you? We're almost here.
Orders! Attention! Attention! Ready to move.
Are you seriously telling me that these guys can't
Yes,
go
sir.
anywhere?
Go, go, go! Ready to move. Ready to move. Listen up.
Don't fancy using
Ready to
them?
move. Ready.
Oh, there we go. Car, wakey, wakey, blimey. Take the train. Order restored in Delaware. Over the past few weeks, Syndicate forces have been busy in Delaware, arresting those we feel would be a hindrance to our control, and helping our local supporters spreading the good word amongst our people. We want to assure them that, as American citizens, we have no reason to fear our presence. Our efforts have slowly begun to bear fruit, even in the midst of all of this chaos. Speaking of which, I can now start getting the units from Indiana.
Keep moving.
Canada took 3 states. Panama has been annexed. Right, and we have New Jersey's units to add now as well.
Ready, sir.
Both reckless. But I do want you to start getting some experience for tank command. Or I can just add you to him.
Yes, sir. Move out. Move out. Commands. Ready, sir. All in.
Alright, how are we doing with troops arriving in the places they need
Keep
to
on
be?
attacking.
Because you're sounding pretty confident about launching an assault. So let's launch an assault and see what we do. Directive 1231. Establish the CIA. It is an unfortunate fact that there are spies and saboteurs within our territory working to prevent our glorious liberation of the proletarian masses. One of the many proposals submitted to the Central Committee stands out. Earl Browder's proposal is to create a committee to enforce the revolutionary order and stop the counter-revolutionary sabotage. However, others within the Central Committee, including Chairman Reed, wonder if this is a necessary step and if we would be betraying our ideals. Regardless, a vote was taken. What was decided? Create the CIA, or say no? Not necessarily for now. We're not going to spy on fellow Americans, as deluded as they may be. In fact, yeah.
Pushing them back, sir.
Let's also have an order. Over here, which is going to be you lot.
Pushing them back, sir.
And then
Keep
you
on
lot
attacking.
should probably have a separate order as well.
Come on, move out. Keep moving. Attention.
There we go. See if that makes any difference at all. And now I'm going to push the longest front. Get some bonuses against them. We've lost 65,000, they've lost 36,000. Hopefully we are making them bleed in terms of resources and supplies though. Oh, we've taken Norfolk again.
Ready, sir.
You guys assist in the assault on here. We're hitting them with a lot of different stuff. Korea's just fallen. Then if we take this, then we can add this unit to this grand group. Because there will be a contiguous border. Big is that fleet? 11, 16 ships, 17 ships. So we are popping out a good amount of new destroyers, which is good. And those destroyers should be really improving the efficiency. In fact, they have. We're at 100%. Unfortunately, we can't reach any further. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab the level 4s, because I suspect that they probably have a longer range. Yes, they do. And we're going to separate them out into a different fleet. So this fleet's not going to grow any bigger than the 14 ships. Whereas this one is going to continue growing to be the regular escort fleet size. I'm going to say don't go Labrador Sea. We're going to try and protect everything through this one area. Which we seem to be doing pretty well. Right, how are we doing for equipment? We have a slight shortage of infantry equipment. That's probably because of the fact that we're producing a bunch of infantry. And it does look like we're retaking some of the territory up here in the north against the PSA. The PSA are now starting to lose more troops. So are we.
Orders. Orders.
I really want to take this one province.
Move out.
because once this is done, I'm probably going to move Butler into a different army. Although him having a lot of traits is going to be a great thing, but I want him in command of the mobile attack forces.
Ready to move.
And probably Rose as well. So just the more experience you're getting here, the better. Alright, technology. More concentrated industry. What are we actually producing right now? Right, we could be and should be doing factories. In the places where we have 100% infrastructure. And there we go, Smedley Butler's just got even better, having gained the Expert Delegator, meaning he can now command up to 7 units and adaptable. Good. Let's get the political officers for the mobilization. Our militiamen are enthusiastic, but they lack an education in the finer points of socialist theory. In order to keep morale up, ensure that more uncertain occupied areas see the benefits of the revolution, we intend to create so-called political officers who will be responsible for helping us win the hearts and minds. And that's just realised I did not read this one out. Former Marine Corps General Smedley Butler has stepped up to lead our armies as the Commander-in-Chief. We wish him luck and are eagerly looking to his experience for ideas in the field of doctrine and war material.
Keep your distance.
And how is this proving so difficult? 5 divisions defending. We need our motorized.
Let them have it.
Rose could become an infantry expert. Do I want you to become an infantry expert, though? Probably not. And just get some more.
Ready, sir. Ready to move.
The Red Terror. War is hell. Civil war, even more so. The psychological strain caused by having to repeatedly kill, even if the enemy are capitalists, has caused some of our soldiers and commanders to become sadistic beyond what some consider to be acceptable. Although not commonplace, reports of systematic mass executions and torture are being reported from both the front lines and core territories to suppress populations suspected of aiding the capitalist factions. Reed has made an executive decision to suppress these reports from the free media. If the revolution were to fail because of a few bad apples, said Reed, then humanity would collectively suffer for centuries longer. Minus 100 manpower. Ah, and the motorized are apparently ready to deploy.
Listen up.
We're going to start you guys training. Maurice Rose falls ill. Alright, so Maurice Rose is going to be replaced by somebody else, somebody who is another infantry commander. Maybe Cannon. I know Cannon's currently occupied elsewhere. No. Bring in Oliver Law.
Commands. Attention.
Actually have an order. And then I can assign you to them.